to the day 2 of this FDP or Generative AI in Education. Maybe in 1 or 2 minutes more people will join. But meanwhile, if from yesterday, if anybody has any doubt, means right now 5 minutes mics are free. So I will allow you to let us interact till at least we get around 60, 70 people, because strength is huge. Speak or have some doubts, please, about what we discussed yesterday. You're welcome to type also, chat, whatsoever is preferable to you. Okay, so it doesn't seem there are any doubts, so I can at least remove the mic controls. There will be no disturbance. And anytime you have a doubt, please type on the chat screen now. So meanwhile, as the people are coming in, you uploaded this video on the WhatsApp also and your Google Drive also. So it was intentionally done to show you in real time also. Means I could have just shared that video, not shared that video, but I could have just shared that prompt. But in real time, I just wanted to record and show you that how I work and adapt to all the different participant needs. I saw that, let us say around 120 people are here in this registered. Let us say 95 people are somewhere related to the 3 fields, OBHR and marketing and finance. But there were some other fields also. So because the restrictions are closed now, so I wanted to not make them feel neglected. But at the same time, there were people who are having only single niche, like, so it was tedious for me to develop examples for each one of them who were slightly lesser represented. But I showed them a simple way how to adapt the same example in their own context. So now, if they are curious how this thing explains, they can just change the single world where that industry is represented and get the similar example that we will be discussing in class in their own context. And that is what boon of generative AI is, that you can help as many people in the class, help many people in the class with diverse backgrounds to understand a concept or anything that you are trying to deliver in their own context. And that will enhance their learning also. And they will, because it's a 10-day event. If it's a 1-day event, I would have not shared, but it's a 10-day event. They should not feel like after 2-3 days demotivated that to continue, that this faculty is not there. So I showed them that how easily it can be done. And I showed them both the ways. There will be other ways also to adapt, but I showed them both the ways. Either you can just take a screenshot and attach, or you can just copy paste it. So both the ways are fine. The goal was the same, to generate an example in their own context. So this was about that. So now we are coming back to our prompt patterns that we were started to discuss yesterday. We reached to the point where we discussed this point in time. From now on, more specific, more generic, and immediate prompts, or prompts that span a time horizon. If there is any doubt in this, just let me know in the chat. If there is any doubt, more generic the prompt, more generic output, or more specific prompt, more specific output, and immediate prompt versus prompts that span a horizon. Those who are joining us for the first time, what we are going to do is, everybody should have, some people are joining for the first time, so let me just quickly repeat that everybody should have either a chat GPT or any other LLM model of their choice open, and everything today will be a hands-on. Everything today will be a hands-on. So you should have a chat GPT open at least, and repeating that you should have this temporary thing enabled. Else, those who are using chat GPT will get varied answers. because depending upon how they are interacting with the chat GPT, it will remember your chats and then it will give you the output. Other thing is that many a times I will be telling you to start a new chat. So on the left hand top, you have this option to starting a new chat. This is the option on the left hand side to start a new chat. So whenever that one pattern is done, I will say start a new chat. Reason being, the goal, how we will understand all these 28 patterns is first we will go one by one, how they stand individually. Then maybe on the fourth or the fifth day, we will start clubbing them, that mixing two patterns. But first goal is to understand, let us say next 2 days or the max 2.5 days, how these patterns work individually. Then we will go to mixing the patterns. That is where the actual thing, beauty of using these form patterns comes. But given that most of you are trying to do this for the first time, first let us do it one by one, and then you will start mixing it. So you will be having in the shared drive folder a couple of documents. I have been repeating multiple times that this where is the document? Yeah. Description PDF file that you are having, form pattern description. So whenever I will be discussing a pattern, the goal is this all the 28 patterns that we will be covering, but we will start one by one. With first column, we will go from top to down, and then we will go to the second set. So I will try to at least do the 2 sets or for today. That is my plan. But let us see how much we achieve. The thing how it will go is I requested people to read beforehand, but don't think that everybody means if you have not read. But the thing is, those who have read will be better able to pick it up because reading every time this 100-word description for the first time was maybe challenging. That's why when I was sending the mails on a WhatsApp, I was emphasizing, please read these descriptions. And today also in the morning, I requested that please read the first 10 only. First 10 means the first two columns that can be used for today's learning. One document is this. Other document that you will be having access to, with all the documents are here. This is the example document. Okay. So there are contextual statements and then there are certain examples. As we will go, we will refer to that. The reason why this document is giving you in docs and some other documents are given you in PDF, the reason is because when I will show you the examples, typing the complete example will take a lot of time. Some of the examples means there is another sheet that is an easy, simple examples. I will do one simple example and then we will do the proper detailed example. So while doing this simple example, we will type, but while doing this lengthy example, actually my goal is to help you understand this lengthy example only, but because of the wide variety of audiences, I will tell you in a very simple way, in one line, how what the prompt, what this pattern is all about, and then we will do a detailed example in the context of HR, marketing, finance, or you are free to use your own context. If you were able to generate the relevant example, you are free to use. So this is a second document, and then there is the last document that you have is opened it or not. That we will do at the last 5 minutes of an hour is this NTU document. That is when not to use a document, that is a PDF that has been shared with you. So what this document is telling, after we learn the prompt pattern, it is not that every pattern can be used every time. It is always, there is a possibility that one particular pattern is not relevant. It is always a possibility. So this document will tell that under what circumstances a particular kind of prompt pattern should not be used. But what we will do is like first 55 minutes or let us 50 minutes, we will complete only the what this pattern is about, how this is applied. And then let us say in the first hour, we are able to cover 5 patterns. Then we will come the last 5 minutes and quickly brush through because these are very small lines. And intuitively, it will be after 2, 3 examples, it will be very intuitive for you to understand what this document is talking about. So that it will be the plan for the day, that how we will approach. So let me start. So this thing we all have done yesterday. Yeah. So this is where we wanted to start. So the pre-chart that was visible to you and that is supplied to you in the document also, description document, was basically segmented into five major heads. And those major heads were foundational patterns, interaction patterns, analytical patterns, content transformation patterns, pedagogical design patterns, and learning support patterns. Don't think that foundational pattern means it is very basic. It is not important. Actually, these are the patterns. First two sets are the actual patterns which are applicable anywhere, and that will help you to get the output in a meaningful way, in a structured way. As you will go pattern to pattern, you will understand their beauty. Outside also educational environment also, you will understand why learning about these things is important. Okay, let me get this right on. So the foundational patterns, I will not describe everything in detail because ultimately somebody will forget. The foundational patterns allow us to give structured interactions with AI. So what does we start with the first one only rather than going everything. So structured interactions with AI, let us see. This was a whole chart. So persona, few shots, template, context, and ethical guardrails. As I will do these, you will understand some of the examples that I've been sharing a while along, maybe today also and earlier also, are based on using this foundation patterns only. Let us see. So getting started, the first one is the persona pattern. Simply telling, before I show you the document and you also read the description, simply telling persona pattern is take a viewpoint of a certain person. Simple as it is, means how that person will respond, how a marketing professional will respond, how a HR professional will respond to a same topic. Topic remains the same, but the viewpoint changes based on who is reviewing or who is trying to answer. It's somewhere down the line, a thing called role play will come. I will tell you at that point in time when role play pattern is described, how that role play is different from persona. But this is the first pattern, that is a persona pattern, in which very basic thing is that persona is making GenAI assume a kind of role. Yesterday, when I was showing you the example of my marketing, healthcare marketing class, I showed you that assume that you are my teaching assistant, and then you are assisting. So the responses of generative AI were fine tuned into that context. So I'm quickly pulling the PDF up now so that you can read quickly. And if it goes, means you are not able to complete, please use your own PDFs. Here it is, this one. The first chunk over here, the persona pattern. I will not read it because that will be too much for you to listen. And just putting it up, let us say for a minute or two, just read the pattern description from here to here. And then we will actually practice it using GPT. Anytime, any doubt, please type on the chat. And whenever I get time, I will answer all your questions. Okay. So many people have confirmed that they have read. Good. So now let us see. First, we will do with the simple example. The simple example means those who are there, they can refer to that single page, but I'm going straight away to my GPT. And just let me get GPT to this side of the screen. Please remember any chat that you have, miss, you have to remove it. Miss, so I will starting a new chat, a fresh page for myself. And miss, I will type it so that you don't think that instructor is just copy pasting. These are one-line statements, but those who are having some issues, this one document is there that is titled easy examples, one underscore easy examples. So those who do not want to type, but I will highly encourage everyone should type. The example that I'm going to use, I've already given to you. But I will encourage you to type, just type these one, two, two, three lines. So one by one only as I go, it will help you. The bigger examples we will just copy paste because to save time. So as persona pattern is taking a viewpoint of a certain person that has been described. The first example that I have is act as a marketing. Doesn't matter capital, small cap, let it be. Don't get too panicky about that. The C is large. It will understand. Act as a marketing professional and tell me something about India. What I'm saying is take the role of a marketing professional. Means you can write, act as a marketing professional, take the role of a marketing professional, behave as a marketing professional, think like a marketing professional. And what else? And somebody yesterday was asking, right? Can we have similar words? So at least four things came into my mind right now. Anything else also that's come to your mind? It's fine. I mean, this is why very universally think the so many all the synonyms are fine. So act as a marketing professional and tell me something about India to make it brief. So because the output is very varied, it's not in the but in about 100 words or let us say 150 words, so that the output is not very lengthy or not too short. 150 words is fine. So I'm executing it. So it has given me some text uh, from which it thinks that it's from marketing professional point of view that India represents a dynamic, rapidly expanding market. So. And the country is not a monolith and whatever. Please understand your text will be different from mine. It cannot, it is very unlikely that you get word by word thing that is exactly same like in a software like a Python or an Excel when you run a code. Irrespective of the system, if you run the same data, same code, it will give you the same output. No, it will not happen. Every system, miss, if you want to see this output can this there will be in chat GPT also somewhere this redo this exercise. The moment I do redo, this text will behave come differently. So now you see same thing. I didn't do anything. I asked it just to redo. This is regenerate response. So it will give me a slightly different response, keeping the essence same. You see the previous option, the first line was India represents a dynamic, rapidly expanding market. Here it started with India represents a phenomenal opportunity for marketers because it thought that I'm asking to regenerate means my user or my person who is operating me is not satisfied. Let me more use marketing technology. So now it says India represents a phenomenal opportunity for marketers and so forth. It's not just a country, so and so forth. It has written. Okay. Let us do the second one and then you will understand. Please increase the font size. So, ma'am, font size is an issue. Miss somebody can tell me some, but font size is. That's why I was asking you to use a bigger screen. Font size, there is no option. And neither Control Plus works. Somebody can tell me, or there's no shortcut for font increase. That's why I was requesting multiple times to use a larger screen. Yeah, means yeah, your web page can be increased. That you can do. Means your web page, but I cannot increase my screen size for this in this inside the software. You can use Control Plus, then your screen will increase. So do we? How do we use the redo function? And let me see in Chat GPT also. Let me just copy paste it so that I can also see where's the redo regenerate response. Chat GPT. Where chat is enabled. It's coming over here. Sir, this is the read aloud copy edit canvas and here. This clicking this thing will should do. It's not doing auto switch model GPT. Try again this option. Try again. But the thing is, your response will go and in Chat GPT. This is the thing. Try again option. And Dr. Smith is asking, This is not Zoom, Jasmine. This is not Zoom. So this is Google Meet that you are asking. So I'm not. So that can. There's no plus sign at the corner of the screen. Yes. And Dr. Smita is asking. Zoom in function. I mean. So is this free version? Will it be caught as plagiarism or AI generated, sir? So, ma'am, it will be AI generated. It's not a plagiarism. Is not. Means you take a text and put it on a plagiarism checker. It will hardly come 1%, 2% plagiarism. 1% hardly. Complete 20 pages will be 1%, but this text will show as AI generated to a certain extent. And then you will say that I want to humanize this and that, but that loses its quality. It's better that just to put a disclaimer like you see on the PDF that I have shared with you at the end. I am clearly telling that this, why it's not moving up? Just a second. Yeah. So I have clearly written that AI assistance is telling and get it through. Means for the whole, every time you might think that I should do humanize this and that. That humanizing means making the English flawed. That is what humanized software actually do. Nothing else. They will put commas somewhere left and right. Yeah. So what's the issue? What is the issue? Let it show AI content. Who is stopping you? I am asking you just to make this disclaimer. Be fair in usage. You tell that I am using. So what's the issue? Turnitin tells, I know it tells. So there's no issue with that. Just put a disclaimer that I have been used. You will go to general policies. They say that if you use AI to a certain extent, just write a statement that AI disclosure policy. That to what extent AI is used. So coming back. So continuing with the example, uh, let it be. So, hmm. So that was about marketer. Now the second thing is let us change the viewpoint and let us say the second is maybe because HR finance. So let us say take the view of HR personal. So to keep slightly things easy for me, I'm just copying this, pasting it over here, and I will just edit the marketing to HR professional, and I will present it and execute it. Now you see, as I changed the moment I made it HR professional, it started to talk me about all the work labor laws. You see the keywords. No need to read the complete text. It will waste. Text is so much text will be generated every day that you should not read everything. You should see the keywords like labor variations, HR best practices that are coming up. Okay, and it's talking about some workforce. These are the keywords. Means that were not over here. In the previous one, the words were marketers. Previous words were like e-commerce, brand engagement, and when it was in the marketing frame of mind, it was taking the marketing terminologies. And while it was taking talking in marketing terminology, when we said that take HR viewpoint, it started talking in HR terminology. So as if you use the third also financial, it will take some financial perspective. So once you have got it, just let me know so that I can actually show you how it can help you in your. You've got it. So once you've got this thing, so this contextual statements or template statements are basically some form of, let us say, rules which are not bound you to follow other than the first one, which is very critical. These are generally written in the order of importance. It's not mandatory to follow everything, but for a two person to use a persona pattern, you have to clearly tell act as a specific educational role. Means because it's education, act as a specific person actually. In case this was a open kind of like an MDP management development program, so it will be not specific educational role, but it will say that act as any X person X. So you tell that that is how this first line is very important. Act as a person X. After that, what you want to add, that is fine. But act as a person X specializing in this and this role and use technology's perspectives, that may not be necessary. May or may not be necessary depending upon how much terminology you want. You see, I just use a thing as a marketer and it started to write marketing terminologies by default. But this is more detailed. The thing is, the more you communicate, please remember the yesterday, no, the last time, yesterday only I talked that there is no link between our minds and the chat GPT or any LLM that we use. So Sometimes, most of the time, not sometimes, most of the times, if you have time, be more expressive. The more expressive you go, the less out, the less chances are it will give you the outputs that you do not want, and you will be enjoying that your learning journey also. It's not mandatory to be expressive, but the more expressive you go, it will the more you communicate, the more better the output will be. So let us see the example that you have in this stuff. So this example is exactly what I have given you, just repeating that this example that I have just copy pasted it. So those who are from HR and finance, you can go to this document, or let us read it from here only. So I just slightly zoom it. I'm keeping this as it is like this, so that whichever branch you are, you read your respective set. Everything is almost similar, but in your own context. So if you have a marketing educator, please read the first one. And if you are an HROB faculty or a research scholar or related to this, you read the second block. And those who are financial side, please read the third block. And as shared in the video, if you are some from some other domain, just you can generate. Just take a screenshot of one example, and I've given you the prompt. Just copy paste it. The Chat GPT will give you the relevant prompt. If you were not able to try, this is a good time to try. Take a screenshot or just copy paste it, and then tell that this is the text that my instructor has given, and it will give you. So the thing that you need to do is, once you have read your respective example, you have to just copy the text, like from the docs file. That is why that it's giving you a document. Just select Control C and go to Chat GPT, start a new chat because you were already interacting it, so that clear its memory and execute it. And again, repeating, those who fail to do the temporary chat, it will happen because every time some people do fail, and then they will think that they will get to see that it is pulling answers from the previous chat. That will happen, but let it be. We can't do anything about it because Chat GPT has introduced a memory function. By default, it tries to remember who you are. But as much possible, always remember to start a new chat, and also if you are using Chat GPT, temporary chat, so that it doesn't get stored. So once you have read, Miss, I'm copy this thing because I will do the marketing one. Anybody can go to the docs file and copy the respective example. Coming to my screen, I'm just starting a new chat. I'm just pasting it. So if you have read, Miss, let me get back to the document. This was a detailed prompt. So act as this person specializing in this particular way. Okay. If I have stopped over here, act as a chief marketing CMO, it was not bad, but I have been more communicating. So specializing in a brand strategy for luxury goods, you are a CMO, but also you specialize in this particular perspective. Then use marketing technology and strategic frameworks common in luxury sector. Okay, and then you maintain a professional kind of tone, sophisticated and persuasive communication style. The thing is, why people think that always, if you say na generate an email, I'm thrilled to do, I'm excited to do these kinds of words. Most of you find that once you're asking GPT to generate a letter for you, I'm excited, I'm thrilled. But if you say keep that tone language, keep the tone language formal and conversational, warm, welcoming. These are the words. If you tell, the output will change. If you do not tell anything, the output will be what it generally gives out, that I'm thrilled to announce this is going to happen. Every post looks like this only on LinkedIn. If there are 10 posts, 9 posts will be like, I'm thrilled to announce this has happened. Truth is, I'm thrilled will come. But if you say do not use the word thrilled and keep the tone formal, it will give you a more professional sounding text. So, so I'm just executing it. That's what I've copied. So it has generated some text. As you are seeing, you will be able to see also your what whichever model you are using, some text will come. and it will be in that marketing terminology also. Means this text may be more detailed because it's a think model. But I'm intentionally using it. If you don't like, let me know. But I want you to see how a higher end model will work. That is why I am using it. It's not that I am showing off like show off, but I'm trying to show that how a professional, because once you go to think model and all, it is highly chargeable. Not means you have to invest some money to it, but I have access to it. So just letting you see means in real time comparison what your output is and how my output may be differing. Is it good, bad? Those who were discussing us, this model and newer models are coming. So this is the life. So if you find this thing very much valuable and actually practical for your real life purposes, then only go for like 20,000 rupees a year or 30,000 rupees a year. Else, let it be. So I hope you would have got whichever prompt you were running, and you're able to see what has happened over there. Right? Okay. Any issues with that? Uh, yeah. So Dr. Hussain is telling, act as assistant professor. Tell me about the state of agriculture in India. Sir, it's an example of a prompt. Using the contextual statement is the blueprint. Let us say it's a blueprint or the template. Example, implementation example. What you wrote is an implementation example. Act as an assistant professor of agribusiness. Tell me more about the status of agribusiness in India. So those who are following is educational. You can say act as a professor with 20 years of experience, act as assistant professor with 6 months of experience, with everything else remaining constant. You will see that there is a difference in language. When you're putting 20 years of experience and versus a person with 6 years. But this is yeah, it can be example of contextual statement. So this is example, but that's it. Not a contextual statement, but actually is you implying it. So either you say it's a contextual statement or it's like a template pattern, anything template, pattern template, not template pattern, patterns template, pattern key template, pattern template. So once this is done, now we are moving to second one, right? No issues with that. I go to second one. So now this is very interesting. The second one is that you give it some example. This is what that video was actually doing. The video I created in the morning for you, the reason was that was few short example only. Zero, there are two concepts that you will be, some of you as you will move in this journey, you will hear that there is one thing called a zero shot, one is called a few shot. And so zero shot means you don't tell anything and GPT or the LLM AI, generative AI gives you the thing as you wanted. But till date, it is very unlikely what you were thinking, it understands. Maybe this chat GPT with its memory function will start to understand, starts to give you. But in general, it should not give you, and it should not give you because you maybe in for first 4 months you wanted one way, one type of kinds of output, then after down you have two other sides. So then you have to clear memory, erase memory, this and that. But because they are giving chat GPT is giving everything so much for free because they want to train with your data. That is why earlier there were limitations like some 30 times or you can do. Right now it's almost uh, free, almost free most of the time. Most images load, take everything because they are using your data to train their system, making them more efficient. Complete monopoly is coming from that side. That is why you people are enjoying to get that free, but it is coming as a cost. Free when free in marketing we say right, and if when a product is free, then you are the product actually. That's the thing we say in marketing. Free is a special price. So so in future learning, so that was one example. No, let us see. Actually, first read the description, then we will do a simple example, and then we will do the description statement. Let me pull the few shot. So this is the text of few shot. That you give some examples of the type of input with input outputs that you want. And then the you ask something else and it will give the output in that format. That's the essence of this. So now I will do a very interesting example rather than using the easy example that I have shared with you. Means, that's not example because that's just a cue sheet for me that I want to demonstrate something that sentiment analysis or segmentation in the real time. So this is not a prompt. This is a cue sheet for me to tell you to show you something else. So what I'm going to do is at this point in time, I'm going to Amazon. Okay. And I will request each one of you either to log to any website of their choice in which customer reviews are there. Any Flipkart, Amazon, Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put any product. Let me get this Samsung Galaxy. Randomly any product. Randomly that you think any product. The exercise I'm going to show you is I will going straight away to the customer review section. I'm clicking it, so it will take me wherever the customer reviews are stored. Wherever the customer reviews are stored, it will take me. Yeah. So now you see on the left hand side, there are 5-star reviews, 1-star reviews. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just taking a single line because it's a small demonstration. What I will do, one 5-star review and one 1-star review. What I'm going to do is just one line. I'm not even putting simply superb and awesome. It looks like okay 5-star review. So I just copy this part. You take any product, go to the 5-star review and just read it so that it is genuinely as a 5-star. Just for the because it's a small demonstration, the fine tuning will take time. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying this. I'm writing thing few shots. So we have to give sets of examples. So one is input that I just copy pasted. Then I'm pressing enter. I'm writing output. I'm writing just the word file, letter number file, nothing else. Okay. Then I'm pressing enter twice to so that GPT understand that the first part was one set. I've pressed enter twice to make a space over there. Input output. I will give. I will add the second time input. That input. Now I'm going to. I'm filtering it down to 1-star reviews. Okay, and I'm just finding something which is okay. This is a defective product. This is very small. There was patch on the screen. Works for my purpose. A person who will get this is obviously going to give a 1-star review. So now I'm saying I'm coming to the input writing. I received the one patch. I write output. The output is please type the question, Miss. When I get time, I will answer. Please type the question. And output is 1. You received over. Sorry. Okay. Let me know once you are done over here. Then I will tell you the third step. Other people are also doing with their respective products. Other people are also doing with their respective products. So the next step is I'm going back. I'm going back and just randomly finding something that is more receive damage and expiry. I'm going to another review. Please see this time what I'm doing. I'm just because I'm the 1-star, I'm just picking up 1-star, another 1-star, and I'm coming back. What this time I'm going to do, I will write input, I will paste it. I will come to output, but this time I will not type the output. I will just leave it then as it is. Okay, then it is control enter or shift enter. Just play with it. Either it is control enter or shift enter. If it's not, if enter is executing it for you, then either it is control enter or shift enter to keep it on the same line. Just check it. So those who are using GPT, what is working, please type on the chat so that others can know. Those who are still trying to figure it out, shift enter. So the Deepa is saying shift enter is working. Thank you for that. So shift enter is working. And now once I execute it, it will do something. No, it will just give me one. What happened over here? See, it was so clever enough that it learned the pattern in which the input output pair was to be generated. It didn't use its mind more than what was needed. It learned that my master is asking me to just give me the input output as a class. This is how simple classification of sentiment analysis. You can do the other way around also. Means you can do something, review positive, review negative, review positive, review negative. But it's not 1 1 3 5. So if you somebody wants to want to do it again, means after the class, because I cannot stop so much for saying this. What I'm mentioning is you do this. Let us see. Means what I wanted to do is means once you're typing, it's not only it works with number, it will work with anything. Input receive damage product, and you say output negative review. So you type it, and it will same pair wise. It's not mandatory to buy 1 5 so, or if you type a text 1 star 5 star, it will understand. So this was a few short. Means few shots means I gave it 2 shots right now because I want. If I gave only 5, then getting an output as 1 will be challenging. But because I gave it 2 shots, means it understood at least in this thing that there are 2 things, 1 and 5. I can choose between 1 and 5. So the closest it tried to match the text that is I typed over here with the text that it already typed. So it tried to find out which one is a approximate match, which is having higher approximation. It found out that it matches with 1, so it gave me an output as a 1. In case if you want to do all the levels of review, so at least 1 2 3 4 5 you have to first give as a sample. And it can happen that if you give only one example, because of so much close in the statements, it may not work. So then you have to supply more examples. This is how you will train your GPT to give you outputs in this manner. You don't need to learn now detailed sentiment analysis, this and that. It's done using AI. Everything ran behind the scene. It's better to be very expressive. I again told you, it will try to understand input, output. But if you give a space, you are not confusing. You are very clearly telling that out. Most what you can do is, if you don't want to put a space, what you do it just put a like enter, put 2 3 lines, and then do. So that be very clear in your communications. The more you hesitate in communicating clearly, the more nuance output there are chances to come. It's not 2 line actually, it's one enter only. So let's come to your education context. We have more examples. This was a simple example. I can do anything. We can keep on doing reviews, but let us come to your context. That's the second example. This was a simple example, but let us come to your context. So this was the how we were doing that detailed example with structure and content. Example 2 means not 2, 3, 4 because of as many example as you want. So as many example as possible that you can use, and then you say do something else. So I'm going back to your document, and now this time these are the 3 things. Now this is in marketing terminology. What I'm saying, there are some brand logos, means brand statements like what they are now. Think different is for Apple, just do it for Nike. So I'm telling that these are some examples, okay? And these are slogan, concise, memorable. And now create 3 examples to do. It's not mandatory to give spaces and all. The models are getting intelligent. Earlier they used to get confused. It If it's not working, then you can break it. But that's the thing. So uh, there are some things. So other people, as I try to answer the questions, please read your respective example and try to execute. So now I'm saying, how can we use this pattern practically while teaching? Yeah, so that I will show you. So how it's not practically by teaching, ma'am. If you see in the morning, I gave you adaptation. If you remember, have you seen that Sonam that video I shared? That was too short. What is it? It was practical adaptation to the participant perspective. I took care of all the 125 people who are registered in one go. I demonstrated a practical real time how this while learning this pattern was using that video. Means you, now you should be able to relate. That was actually a few short. Once I asked you to, this is a below text is what my instructor did, or this image shows. That was a few shot. I was giving a shot because it's a multimodal. So if images also gonna go, I told you in the yesterdays, if you did it yesterday, that sometimes I will tell you how to use images also. That's I gave you the both ways, text input also or image input also. So because multimodal is understood. Balaji, sir, this is one sentiment analysis feature is one of the applications of the few shots. The second thing is using the same thing in different context to generate the same kind of example. So that was not, this is not sentiment analysis. Basically, is adapting our content in educational context is adapting the content for the participants, that's your students. So you will, as you will learn, start merging the different patterns. You will understand the how context and prompt pattern can be this template pattern can be mixed. Few shots can be mixed to get better outputs. One of the things that people like is to see this 1 to 5 coming out. So now, please take the example of your choice, whichever you are running. Just go and copy it and run it on your. Just restart the analysis, else it may. It's so for my example, it will give me some slogans for a skincare product that it can generate. So it has given me. It has followed the pattern that it should not be very large. It should be 2-3 words only. So it is following a very terse way that purely you natural. So if you think, at this point, I'm giving you some other hints also. If you think that these are not working, you can also say, give me 5 more options. It will generate 5 more things. Means you can always ask. So it thought that it presumed that 3 were enough. In case you think that these seeds are not working, you can ask, give me 5 more, 5 more, 6 more, or 2 more, 1 more. You can always interact with it. So you can always generate example using the few shots, getting more examples in the context. Context I will come to, but getting more examples of similar type. When the students ask, sir, can you give me more examples? So what you do, you go back to GPT, give the one example that you have from a textbook or something, and then ask it to give similar examples back. Like I don't know what's the limit and how much you want. Because for me, 2-3 works. You can type to 200, 300, but I don't know the limit. Okay. So I hope this few shots is clear. So this was the example that we ran. So once this few shot is clear, I'm moving to the next one. This is very interesting. This will save miss in education context. We want to have the output maybe in certain structure. The cases when we will write, I will be using this thing when I will demonstrating the case because case has a pattern At first, those who have read the pre-read or those who know how the case is written, it has a pattern. That first introduction will come, then some company background will come, then something about the current problem, then something about competitors. So we will tell that this is a template, that this is a structure in which we need the output. And template pattern will help you a lot. This template pattern is the way how these documents that I am writing, I've used this template pattern to generate a document in a certain manner. That's why which, when you see the pattern descriptions, before the pattern descriptions, when you see this is the template I fed it, that I want pattern header name come, pattern name come, then pattern description. If I had not done the template pattern, it would have followed its own mind. It would, but I forced it to give me the output in this manner. So we are going to quickly read. As quickly you can say that description is done. That's why I gave the homework. I'm just pulling it. Once I get some thumbs up, I can show you the real examples. That's the goal to how to apply it. Once I get 20, 30 thumbs ups, I will quickly show you the example. I do not want to waste time. Okay, thank you. Thank you for pre-reading it. It will be very helpful for us to complete the more practical stuff in time. So thank you for reading it. So just quickly read its contextual statement. Okay, let us do the first simple example so that you understand. The simple example that I have brought for you is this one. So what I want you to do in your respective field is assume that there are three terms to you that you want the student to explain. Like me, you wanted to have a document that you want to give to your students. And what I want to have, what I needed to do now, just I will change it slightly. In the class, when I was generating, I thought that this is a better, just okay. I'm back. I'm not sure why it shut down abruptly. My system just suddenly it stopped working. Just give me a second. Let me get the thing. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So the example that you are having is insert. Just let me share my screen. Just let me share my screen again. Yeah. So my screen is coming up. So the example that I have given to you was I teach three terms. The three terms. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type three terms that what is there that I want to describe. Want to describe marketing value proposition and customer value in the following format. So this is happening is I have told that there are three terms which you can write three terms in your context. If HR person is writing compensation or organization behavior terms, you can write motivation, leadership, financial professional is writing, you can write balance sheet or what income statement, whatever comes to your mind, just write any three terms so that it mimics what I'm trying to do. That I'm telling I want to describe marketing, comma, value proposition and customer value in the following format. This format is actually the template that I want to suggest. So in the following format that I am suggesting, and that's uh, what I am telling it, that give me the term name, that which term that you are trying to do. This open is less than greater than sign that I'm writing is like a placeholder. It's like a placeholder when I say that here what I write, insert term name. So what it will execute is it will write term name colon and actually write the term name over there. This less than greater than sign symbols is the placeholder where something has to be inputted. Okay. Then is right. The second is right explanation. Second is explanation. Insert at least 50 words description of the term. Okay. This is the second thing. So in front of explanation, it will put the heading and then it will explain the term in at least 50 words. Then the third thing I want to do is bullet point because one is fine. 50 words are there. What I'm the third thing that I'm doing is bullet point summary. So I'm saying bullet point summary and insert, let us say, three bullet points of the explanation. So I will not execute it till every one of you are able to type, or those who have typed, you can execute it, and let's see what the output is. I will just holding my screen for a moment, and those who have done it, you are free to execute. I will just hold for the screen for a moment. Uh, Thumbs up that you are able to do. Sorry for that. I don't know why my system like totally blank. Then and thank God it restarted. I thought that it is gone blank. That would have been much more problematic. So let us see. So now you see, and most of you also what you're doing, term name, marketing explanation, so on and so forth, then the bullet points. Term name, so on and so forth, and so, explanation and bullet point. You see there are headers also. Now people fret that make PPT or not. This we are, let us use at the max what need to do. Just use this control C, control V in an open document. That's it. And you, you get that beautiful documents that you were seeing before. Where is your folder? Generative AI. We are somewhere here. And the descriptions folder. Description folder is this, right? Yours folders. This. this total document that you were seeing was generated in this manner only. Uh, Let me drag it to this screen. Yeah, your prompt pattern, the description folder, and any other document with this template pattern helps you to make the output in a structured format. So I told that give me the output with pattern header, pattern name, and then I also added a space intentionally to make it look easy on eyes that this is the thing, two things, then this is the thing. Okay. So if this is okay, means we are entering our 10 minutes break, so I will not take up your break. Those who have done, please take your 10 minutes of break. But right now I'm also unmuting the mics. So in case somebody has needs to discuss something, I'm unmuting all the mics. And this is your 10 minutes break period. So please take your break. I'm unmuting the mics to if somebody wants to discuss something. Just give me a second. The mics are on now. In case somebody has concerns, you can discuss. But this is your 10 minutes break. So next pattern will start after uh, 10 minutes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, I just want to ask, these are all character based which you have in the context of this, writing. Now, if you
Mhm.
have a numeric concept percentage has to be done, or any statistic graphical thing has to be put across, or if I want a graphical structure to it, so how can I go with that? What is the prompt I should write for that?
Means you want an image over there. So image may come or it may not come. If you write like insert an image, but that may be a challenge over there. That I can truly tell you. Truly telling. If you want for everything an image should come, that may be a
If I
challenge.
want the numeric and the floating statement, then if I
What
want
is
a
a
numeric
what
percentage
is a
statement.
so tell me some example, right? So you can this
Suppose I
is
have an integer numbers which I want to put it in my programming. I want the floating aspect of the decimal aspect to it. So what is that? The pattern which I should have for this.
question is right. Is why you write this
I see here
placeholder.
when I write this
This
as a term name and I get that and I write the description. Everything is descriptive form, right? 50
okay.
words you describe and all explanation everything. Now I
Mhm.
want a numerical aspect to be put insert in
Okay.
that.
So you just say answer me in numbers. So it will try to adapt. Means that is uh you have to write in that manner. Okay. Means you are going slightly ahead. Means you have to do it from now on. Let us say from now on, I'm using the prompt button. Whatever you answer should be in numbers only between 1 to 100. Let us say ANS. Okay. Uh, Let us see it's working or not. If it is understood. Uh, what is the capital of India? Let's try this. Working or not working? Yeah, it should work. I understand it will work. So number format, right? So you want insert like whatever question you asked. So this is how you can done, right? If you force it, the output should be a numeric format, then it will give you a numeric format if you want to have something numeric. Mithal.
What
I was
about
asking something.
decimal? What about decimal?
So you just use it. The same thing. From now on, whatever you answer should be between up to two decimal places. You have to just communicate. We start doing. Again, I repeat what the capital of India. Now, in its own language, Delhi is somehow coded as 10 and 12.34. But I'm not sure why you want to do this.
Because in the programming context, when we do this as a, giving as a prompt for it, we have an integer float and
So
the
that it
structure.
will do now. So it's this is a template. So what you
Yeah.
do, okay, now I got it. You write. So whatsoever, it's like a program name. Okay, I show you, miss, what you are trying to read. I just do it for you. Miss, this is a trick. Now I got it. Okay, I got it. What you want? Right. R program code for uh, scatter plots using salary and age as two variables. If the output in the following your format, no matter. Variable name, insert variable names, code for scattered plot. Insert the complete R programming code. Okay, ma'am. This is what we were looking forward to, I think.
Yes, sir. I was looking for one of the Python programming or any R programming which
So
you have.
yesterday I gave the disclaimer that I know R. So in some suppose you asked me, so you just write, give me the Python code. It will give you the Python code. So this is what a communication you have to communicate. I got the second time I got what you wanted. So you write variable name, insert variable names, plot code, or whatsoever you want. Something else, you just keep on that chunk. It will understand.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Now you can just copy it like this. Everything is coming floating and numeric or dollars, special symbols. Everything is there. Even the your data that is it is plotting it. It is used to plot. Now you can just copy this and paste it. So DK sir, code interpretation is if you don't know our programming, you might not be able to understand. So that is outside the purview. It's because computer science faculty asked me, so I showed some computer science, and this is not a our programming class. So that's outside the purview. Let me see some other questions. Template is amazing. So how do you get headers? Multiple subheaders. So sir, you can just indent it. If you just indent it, just give 3-4 spaces. So subheaders will get indented if you want indentation. Or else you can write as many points in formatting. Ma'am, can you mute yourself? Your
Yes, yes, sure.
mic is very noisy. So Tejaswini, there's no range. Your creativity, once your brain stops processing, that's the limit. Range of things, you can do anything provided that you are able to communicate. Communication is the must. If you don't not able to communicate, it will not come. Giving it a proper structure. And Kishore, just something I started noticing recently, a lot of product reviews seem to be written using AI, including the ones sir referred to the examples. Product reviews are not written just above the product reviews. Product summaries are there. Review summaries are there because people don't have time in this age. Customer reviews are not here. If I go back, it's people copy paste, that's a different thing. But what this will give you also, Amazon. This is they see fair AI usage. You see AI generated text from customer reviews. They are giving you a summary and AI generated it. They are very clearly saying that we are not cheating you. Oh, ठीक है, sir, sir. Everybody does that. Every student does that. They are doing it. Let us see. Let it be. But Amazon is fair in their own. People will do everything. I pay create my posts using LinkedIn. I draft my mails using LinkedIn only. That's all fair. Is you have to get about over this phobia that accept accept that everything is AI generated. Okay. So just give me a minute so that I can resume. I need to switch on my AC so that it doesn't the system doesn't
Sir,
get heat.
can you help us in the feedback of the customer? Like, how can it be generated? You can help us in that template for the feedback of the customer.
Feedback for the customer. Mm, okay. You tell me which product feedback. There's no need for any template. I tell you. Miss, okay, I buy a template only. Very small. Tell me some product. You tell me. You have to give me the idea.
A mobile phone as a product.
Ma- uh, exactly, Miss. That is the thing. If you have you seen that in the morning in the YouTube video I said about Trinity.
Hmm.
Trinity. She's computer programmer operator. Tell me the operating manual of this helicopter of this particular version. Else it will be very generic output. So you have to understand that you have to give me very specific thing. Then only I can quickly process your doubts because again, 100 people are there approximately. So you have to tell me which product exactly. Apple. Let us say iPhone 16. Fine. Uh,
Yes, fine.
Write a review for iPhone 16, which 2256 GB.
Yes.
And you want the review to be positive, negative? Quickly tell me. 5 star, 4 star.
4-star positive.
Write a review for iPhone 16 that looks like a 4 star review. And what template you want? Means this is a there's no need for a template. Means right, like a four. It looks like 4 star review in about. Okay. In bullet points. In 10 bullet points. Okay. There's no need for a template for this. It's for writing a review. Something interesting has to become for it. It will think for some time and give you the. I mean, I should stop using this think model. That's why it's taking slightly more time. I will stop using the think. I will go to faster model. So here is your review. It has used in English. I have to write. Uh, it has please use US English. So, ma'am, here it is in bullet points, 10 bullet points. You can just copy paste it. Because that is an RAG factor, it may have went somewhere and it has just tried to extract it and it got stuck over there and it gave me some, I think it's French or somewhere. So I have to clarify that give me in US English. But it was assuming that we were talking in English. We were assuming, but it can happen. Some things go wrong. So then I said US English, then it gave me in English. Just let me stop using this think model. It will take slightly more time. I will just go to the normal. No, not the think. Anything but think, so that the responses come faster. Okay, and just let me now get your PPTs. Hope I'm able to access without any wasting time. Our folder is here. So this is the my video. Video is on. My Template. So please go back to your actual document that was their example document that was there and just execute anything that you find. No, sir, no, Ulfat ma'am, that you have to wait after the class. Data analysis was never the part of this workshop. Data analysis is not part. Maybe some qualitative data analysis, and that will happen in the research in some data analysis. But right now, doing data analysis, many people will not understand what is the basics of regression and all. I do not want to delve into that. Sorry. Right now, it's not alright. We have to wait till 9:30. So the question hour time. Then we can do. Miss, and every time you are having means data and the example has to be ready. Means everybody has to understand that it's quickly adapting. Means give me the data or whatsoever you think, and then I will simulate it. Or if you want to simulate data, that's a different thing. So just go wherever that example is for your and just practice it. This was I have not set it down. Foundation pattern, two shots, and two shots. This is a template. So please just quickly do the template pattern, then I will move to the next one. This is using your own context, whichever example you want to run, just copy paste it and run it. And just let me know once you are done. And if you still have any doubts, please let me know. Else we will move to the fourth one. This is a marketing example. This is an HR example that I am telling that these are the things that I want. Executive summary, target audience goals, and so on and so forth. And I'm asking it to produce an output in the marketing context or in the HR context or in the financial context. And just let me know once you are comfortable with it. So once you're comfortable with it, what I need to do is I have to need to go back to the slide. And now comes the another important pattern that is your contextual not context, the context manager pattern. So the yesterday's example that when I was showing that healthcare professionals, those who recall that I told ChatGPT that I have a class of doctor professionals that who are healthcare professionals with 5 to 8 years of experience, and then explain marketing in terms of those. What I was giving, actually trying to do yesterday, I didn't tell. I was actually trying to give the context that what is happening behind the scene. So just quickly read your detail of context manager. Basically, context is nothing but providing the generative AI the idea that what the task, whom for whom the task is meant for. Because once you give the context that this task is meant for healthcare professional doctors, this task is meant for BBA students, this task is meant for faculty members who are their professors. So I was doing this when I was preparing the content that this FDP will be is targeting for education professionals. So the outputs have not to be from a student perspective. Give me the output in which it sounds and it is like the instructor is reading to be applied on students. That's why once you see, educators are specifically specified details such as these are first year, 5 year students. Because I asked it, gave the context, and then asked it to keeping the context of my participants in mind. Give me that out. So you will tell that these are my first year students, these are my work experience. So you have to tell it. So let us do an example again, because maybe yesterday the thing was slightly not visible. So I have the same my healthcare example that I teach marketing to students who are doctors by profession with 7 to 8 years of experience. This is the context I'm telling that understand who are my for whom the content is to be generated. Understand the context so that the content that is generated is please type the question. The content that is generated is in the language of uh, the the recipient can understand more easily. So after that, I have very simple thing that explain marketing in 50 to 60 words in a manner that my participants could understand. Now I'm just copying it. I'm starting a new chat. I request others to do that. Bullet point means it's not. As you will learn, you will see that I use this bullet point that is better. I'm giving the context that I teach marketing to students who are doctors by profession with 7 to 8 years. So now the output that will be generated will still explain marketing, but that will have terms like you see the patient is there, trust-based relationship. This is all service industry. Healthcare is all about services sector and all. So rather than having the Kotler's definition that it is called creating value, this and that. See, value world is also still there. Those who are familiar with marketing, they will see that and that Kotler's is creating value, value for customer, value for company, and this and that is there. But right now, every essence is remained. Essence is there that effective deliver valued and reach those. Everything is there, but in the context that my participants can easily relate to. I am not using any random example of so that way my participants may feel what this faculty is talking about, totally giving examples of some FFGG firms or some automobile firms. So this is how you are able to easily, in a versatile manner, adapt your content to the audience. Is after 3 4 days, I'm going to propose a workshop for students because once educator is done, the student should not be left behind. The first two columns will still remain the same. But then assume that you are submitting this to a faculty member who is a marketing faculty versus assume this a BBA student. That's how the context will get adapted. Content will get adapted based on the context of the participant of the workshop or the whatsoever I do. Is this thing making sense? Yes, please. Somebody is asking something. What you want to ask? Please go ahead. Because I have a second for what you want to ask. I'm not able to type. Chat. There's no other thing. So this is a detailed. Means the more detail you go, so the better it is. But in the initial part, when you slowly start to use it in your own lives, you will slowly go more detail. I know, means it's not possible for me. It was also not possible to go in detail. The yesterday when you were there, the prompts that I showed you, it was generated after at least say 3 to 4 weeks by fine tuning, fine tuning, fine tuning. Everybody learns by fine tuning only. That this worked, this didn't work, this worked, this didn't work. After that, things will you will understand how to communicate effectively. One thing I can tell you at this point in time, I will wait for some point in time to get it slightly more complex. Then we will have that how to get tell GPT to tell us in a unique format that what should be an ideal prompt. So let us see. If I make some tweaks over here, only I can give you a hint so that you take away something interesting also. Mm, yeah. So suppose very simple thing. This is in text, right? And this is 50 to 60 words. Explain it. But I want in it bullet points. Let us assume that. Okay. But I wanted the details in bullet points. So it has made some bullet points. See what the thing has gone is I gave it the context. Now I wanted to change the format. I wanted to have some template over here. Now you try. I'm hinting towards mixing the prompt pattern. I will go again in deep. But what I'm trying to tell you, how to make the GPT tell us this prompt. What is a better prompt? We gave some prompt. Prompt is the text that we're trying to do. Okay, this is okay. Tell me the prompt which I should have used to generate this output in one shot. Now you see, given the discussion that I had with GPT, it has said that explain what marketing in bullet points. Earlier, you see, I didn't add bullet points, so it gave me an output thinking what is best to do. Then I said, okay, I wanted to do bullet points. It gave me bullet points. The third step, I asked it, okay, this is okay. So that is fine. Now give me a prompt which should have been given so that all this task which took me you for GPT also to first process it in the text for detailed format, detail like subjective question answer, then give me bullet points. Lot of energy is getting wasted, lot of time is getting wasted. Because right now I'm just demonstrating it, so I'm allowing it to get wasted. But you see how much time will get wasted every time I tweak. Okay, now give me bullet points. Versus in your learning journey, as you learn, in your learning journey, as you learn, at point in time you say this is working for me, but you will understand that you have made so many tweaks. You can always ask, give me the prompt in which can achieve the same task in one shot, so that you I just input this in one go and I get what I want. So it has given me explain what marketing is in bullet points for audience of doctors with 7 to 8 years of experience. Frame this explanation in a way that relates to medical professional and so on. So this is how your learning journey will unfold, and it should unfold like this only. You will have lots of irritated times. You will find that it is getting confused. But whenever you are able to find your perfect solution, that this is good. You ask GPT to give me how do I do this in one shot. It will give you a prompt. Now this is a prompt you should actually copy and save it once your work, so that copy paste, build your repository. What's working for you, what's not working for you. I would have told you maybe after 1 or 2 days, but I have discussed it. So any doubt in that? This is mixing two prompts also. I should have not. If doubt is there for somebody, please don't be hesitant. Many people are giving a thumbs up, so they are understanding. But thank you for that. But in case any small doubt, this is a very critical concept. Kishore what is going to happen is even if I rerun this, the output will not be the same. I'm again telling it's not like a Excel code or Excel Python code in which the output will remain the same. I showed you in today's class also when I click the regenerate. If I just use this, just see. If I say regenerate response only, means give me a better prompt, regenerate. That prompt will be slightly different. Just see. I explain what marketing is in bullet points. Now it has say, okay, here's another prompt to do the same task. I teach marketing, not just change. It is like passive voice, active voice, then a new kind of voice. So each time you regenerate also within the same uh, chat, then also the responses will be slightly different. The thing is that we are learning prompt engineering to minimize this differentiation. But this variability is inherent. That is the goal of this whole FDP that you are attending, at least for my part, apart from what we will discuss about teaching again.
Sir, in the research paper, will it, like when you write the prompt and this, will it give the citation for that? Is that
Man, the
any way?
research specialist will come on the 8th day. You can ask this question to her. Research specialist will come.
Okay.
No, Kishorji, prompt saving is not obsolete. You will get your task done. It doesn't need that same language. It's not like a Python or any programming software code which has to be run in same manner in left to right. You can jumble things up and it will figure it out. That is the beauty of generative AI. It's not mandatory for our programming. It is like always the data has to be first in the code, then the x and y axis has to become, then what kind of graph has to be done. You can totally jumble it up. You can say I want to draw a scatter plot in generative AI. You can say I want to draw a scatter plot using x and y, and data name is this. Data file is attached. But you can also say the x and y are the variables. I want a scatter plot, and then the data file is here. You can. This is a beauty of generative AI. It's not hard coded from that. You need things arguments in order. You don't need arguments in order. You can tweak as you want, and it will try its best to give you the correct output. Right. So let us see what we have in slide. Textual statement. So if anybody wants to run, just copy paste it and quickly run it and let me know once you are done. Any example of your choice if you want to run in your context. I'm giving you full freedom. Please copy paste and just see that the text that will be generated. Read the problem, read the sample prompt, and then execute it. Don't run it meaninglessly. Don't run it meaninglessly. Just read the sample prompt first and then run it. Just see how that sample prompt is generated. Following the content is for entry level. I'm giving the context. I'm reading the HR example intentionally now, as people will think that I'm doing only the marketing every time. Following the content of entry level HR professionals. So HR level entry professionals only. Consider their prior knowledge as for HR fundamentals and then do this task. This is slightly detailed versus the easier version we were doing. Okay, done. Thank you. So, hmm, ethical guardrails. So basically, ethical guardrails is fine. The first thing is that I will explain to you what guardrails is. Again, ethical तो ठीक है. Means guardrails. What is guardrails is all about is uh, putting some boundary conditions. So this is where even if your institute doesn't goes for a paid model, how you can incorporate generative AI. Telling you something important. Means some student has to be fair, have to be use this thing fairly. But the thing is, even if you don't have your custom GPTs, you can use the normal GPT and still ask students to perform the tasks. And I will just demonstrate with a simple example. Then you can always see the detailed example also. So the thing is, just quickly read the text. Then I will go to a simple thing. That guardrails is all about putting some rules that please don't do this. So when I let us say that my guardrail is don't unmute, as I said that don't unmute, or please make sure that your mic is muted. And then when I don't find, then I have to take some action. But if you tell GPT that please don't give me the exact solution, like a student asks, generally say solve this. Versus in a controlled lab environment in which you bring this, like we have lab sessions, when but you tell GPT beforehand, pre-program it that in this session you don't tell me the correct answer, but you always assist me with hints to solve this problem, but never tell the answer. It's like a guardrail that I'm putting. Ethical guardrail is what ethically what should be right, but guardrail is like putting what should not be done. Guardrail. that you should not do this. Ethical means those ethical aspects for me that don't allow, give me the answer or don't give me something that is harmful for me. Those kind of stuff. Don't tell me those options which are harmful for me. But guardrail is the putting the boundary condition. Once you have read it, just I will show you a simple example, then you can run the detailed example. Then read. Okay. So how you can use it in a lab condition? I'm starting a new chat. So let me go. Okay, that's fine. Let it be GPT-4. What I'm going to do is I'm using uh, again this from now on so that it doesn't stop in after one interaction. What I'm going to tell it, uh, my students will be asking you some questions. Simple example like how to uh, about multiplication. They can also ask. Give you. They may ask you to solve the problem, but you should not solve it completely. Under no circumstances you should give the final answer. You should give them hints to solve and give no more than, let us say, three hints. I, for my safety, writing from now on for my safety so that it doesn't forget. The reason I'm doing it, what you are seeing it, you're curious enough why I'm breaking it into points. The thing is that as we read English language, like we start hopping the words. Where we see once we read a paragraph, we understand two, three lines. We see, okay, I understand. So to make sure that GPT doesn't hops, if you write everything in a paragraph, it will start. It may jump, not read everything word by word. But if you break it in bullet points, then it is forced to restart the reading. So that is why usually I do this bullet point stuff in the document I've given you in one paragraph because it was small thing also, and I wanted to keep the slide content font bigger. If I break many things into bullet points, so it goes very small fonts, then people find it hard, difficult to read. So if you see what I have done is I have written from now on, my students will be asking you some questions about multiplication. They may ask you to solve the problem, but you should not solve it completely. Under no circumstances, you should give the final answer and you should give them hints to solve. Give no more than three hints and ask me to send the first student to you. So now it say, okay, I understand. I am ready to help your students with multiplication. Please send the first student to me. So now I'm just assuming. Hi, what is the answer of 250 multiplied by 245? Randomly, I'm typing. I'm not. I will see. It has given me some hints. Those who are, you can break down one of the numbers. It tried to give me hints. Right. Those who have not done this part, just run this. Give me the answer of 250 into 245 or any number. You will find that the answer is coming. That is what I wanted to tell you. What I can do is I will come back to here. I will just start a new chat and just let me copy the same thing. That this is the chat. I'm just copying it. I'm going to the new chat. I'm pasting it, entering it because it has forgotten the context. Most likely, it will give me the answer, exactly the answer. Oh, it has stopped working. I have to rerun. I have to give it once more. It was not able to. Yeah. So it has just given me the answer 61250, which most of you will think that this is not right the way to learn. We should agree on this point. But if I succeed in my, let us say, uh, if efforts to teach you about prompt engineering, and then you can write things like that slowly, then generative AI will be able to adapt in a very meaningful way. It's not always getting the best free app that can do this task. All the apps that are existing that you are getting fascinated about, they are nothing but somebody who knows prompt engineering has written that thing and it has hidden it from you. So once you activate that app, those 10, 50, 500 lines of code are automatically run behind the scene. So when you open it, it actually says, I understand what needs to be done. Somebody has stored it and then restart it. And then when you use it, it's nothing more than that. So Rushali is saying, sir, eventually if we need a direct answer later, how can we do the condition? You can say forget the instructions, forget the limitations, you do it. Or you can start a new chat. Start over and stop doing that. These are the words. Start over. If you write, be very careful that it will stop doing that. But with an outside chat. And Pratiksha says students will be using their chat GPTs right now. Can we control it? No, Pratiksha, you can't control their limit. But under controlled environments, how you can allow chat GPT? So if you say no, place a restrictions that you can't use new chats and all, and because paid versions will allow you to develop. If I show you some this chat GPT, I don't have the paid version of specifically chat GPT, but I did something, some learning previously. Yeah, GPT is not coming. Okay, it has come on my other screen. So in that learning, the things you see on the left hand side, they were custom GPTs, which I do not have access to make because it's a free version I'm using. But that were the custom GPTs, and this is what people sell to you. They make custom GPTs and then wrap it under a app and give it to you. Custom GPT is nothing but smartly written statements, these prompts, which they use. Then they say use this pattern only, and that's it. Because what you can do is, but they will still do, right? Right. As an instructor. So suppose you say hmm, that this is the thing to the student. You can ask the student to submit the complete chat history. They may know the right answer. Means right answer can be done with on the mobile also or calculated also anywhere. But if they followed this process, uh, we will also learn many more things, how to give the feedback at every step. I mean, this is slightly complicated for day two to tell everybody. But what you can ask them to submit, if you give this kind of assignment, that you ask them that first thing has to be this. And now you may say, sir, they copy pasted it, this and that. So again, uh, it's not in this cider, but Chat GPT has used to have this share chat option in which a complete URL will get generated and copy paste. Somewhere student has to be honest. It should not be copy paste. And if you're smart enough to read the prompt, it will start making sense to you. You can cursory viewpoint also you can make that this is looking, but this is not telling. It means the student has made some adjustments while before submitting the document to you. Yeah. So that was guardrail. Now coming to ethical guardrail, integrity focused. So you will tell specifically not to solve that. What we did also was ethically guarded also. That don't give me the right answer. So just quickly see the example in your context, in any context that means that you feel comfortable with. So I'm just pulling the context manager ethical guardrails and quickly run whichever suits you. So now this time let us see the finance persons. I did marketing HR. So provide guidance on analyzing a potential investment opportunity without making the investment decisions for the students. And then we have some financial modeling and risk assessment techniques and explain the importance of diligence. One more thing. Okay, yeah, I remember. What is going to happen is you right now you will not be while I am writing right. Provide guidance on analyzing a potential investment opportunity because GPT by default has not been tuned to ask you questions back. It will assume any potential investment opportunity and give you the answer. It has to give the answer. Very soon, in the next interaction patterns, we will learn a pattern in which we will allow GPT to ask us back to give us a better response. But right now, we are not has said that. So if you are executing any of this thing, it will assume any ideal condition and then use that to generate the response. Please understand this. It will not stop. It will give you a response. Provide guidance for a workplace conflict. It will assume that some conflict is having, and then it will give you a guidance. Please at the same time is you have to see this is one way to write this contextual statement I have written on the top so that you can see I am following a logic. Initially learning some logic helps. After that you are free to flexible. It's not mandatory, but because in your context slowly you will learn. So you see provide guidance. These are again this is like that open bracket close bracket greater than equal to. This is like a placeholder. The term is like a placeholder. Here you fill what you want to do. Provide guidance on topic and then some learning objectives that you want to achieve. So this square open brackets is like the content need to be added by the user. You're free to twist, tweak, and not, but just for guidance, these contextual statements are given. So as you run it, what I need is the second document because we have now completed the first set. First set is completed of the foundation patterns. All the foundation patterns are done. So now it's a good time to see when not to use a pattern, when we should not use a pattern. It's a very good time to see under which circumstances a persona pattern should not be used. Persona pattern was the first pattern that we saw. So let me know once you are comfortable with the previous exercise and I can delve with start with this. Ethical guardrails is clear to you. If there is any question, just let me know and then we will deal with this. Okay. So all people, most people have given a thumbs up, though that's thank you for that. So now let us see under which condition persona should not be used. Persona should not be used when do not want to limit the output in a one person's point of view. In case you do not want some voice to influence the thinking. Persona should not be used. Persona always will be the output as an average person in that kind of role will speak. If you want to keep the content neutral, don't use persona pattern. It's also very important to learn when not to use a pattern. As I will stop, you just read at the actual text also. It will kill the thinking. If you want that students to think in an original manner, explore diverse viewpoint. So over reliance on specific persona pattern can limit creativity and critical analysis. People will be fine-tuned in that manner only. Over a period of time, if every time you write, think like a marketing professional, think like a marketing professional. And but right now means we have innovation and all bring diverse viewpoints. They will be so much fine-tuned if every time a marketing professional persona is used that they may not be able to think something not that is coming from any adjacent stream. Okay. Now I'm moving to the second one. That is when not to use the few shot pattern. So you should not use few shot pattern in which you want the GPT to give answer as expressive as possible. While giving few shots, you are selling that if you see the example as 5 words, give me the output as 5 words. If you see the answer as numeric, you give me the answer as numeric. But if you do not want that to happen, over dependence of provided examples, again the students innovation will get. You give a sample case study, which actually in the your context is like you give this is the way a case study should be solved. Those 5 points, only SWOT analysis, 7C framework, that framework, only these three. The student will always think in if you have used a this is a template, few shots example that my instructor is giving. That always the analysis, case analysis or any analysis has to be done in this way. Then they may be limited in their learning. So few shots it has its own pros and cons. Every time when you want students think outside the box, innovative thinking, don't use few shots or persona also. Same logic goes with template. Template will force only those three headers. If you write, tell me about marketing and just 2 words, or something about HR in just 3 bullet points, or something that you limit. Template limits the output, the kind of output that is generated. So again, when you have to encourage creative problem solving or unstructured exploration of topic, template brings structure that you do this. So the example that you were having, first write the introduction in the case, then write the company statement, then write something else. You're giving a structure. But if you want to have that unstructured exploration, you can go and look for the solution first, then come back to the question, to and forth. You can go in your understanding. Then template is not the right way because template will always generate the output in a structure. But if you allow, okay, go and see something, then come back, refine your question, then you should not use the template. Coming to the fourth one, when should not use a context manager? So when the intention as it reads that and the intention is to challenge students with unfamiliar perspectives or complex scenarios, then you should not give a context. Again, stepping them outside the comfort zone, then you should not do. Overtailing the content can limit exposure to diverse viewpoints and hinder development. Okay. The last thing is ethical guardrails. If you want the students to push your students to grapple with ambiguity and complexity of ethical dilemmas, then you should not use a guardrail because guardrail will not allow them to challenge. Again, critical thinking will take a beating, and it will prevent students from developing their own ethical frameworks. So all over this was the first set that we have seen. So any doubt that you have, and let us see that. Can you give an example, sir, for the template? But example are here, right? So complete examples. This I showed you. Ravian, sir, when did you do? All the examples are here. What do you need? Template pattern, executive summary, target audience, goals and objectives. So once you execute this first chunk, let me just execute it. So you see, I have asked some sections. So in your pattern, I will just execute it. So now you see what I've asked. It will produce like this: first executive summary, then target audience, then goals and objectives. It will start producing. See, I got those with the idea for simple examples came later after I built this document. Because I once I started running this, I thought that many people were intimidated at seeing this long chunk of text. So I intentionally made one simple set only where I line one and two lines so that you get a hold and then you run a proper detailed example. But this text may look intimidating. So at this point in time, first I know there are 10 minutes left, but I can go move ahead. But I still want to know if there is any doubt. Means you can speak on your mic or comfortable because one complete column is done.
Professor, just a question to begin with.
Yes.
Um, this is workable in terms of a lab scenario where we have a common system which is being used by the students, right? But when they're using their own laptops and devices, we might not be able to really dictate a certain guardrail, right?
Other than guardrail, everything else is possible. Means then
Okay.
it's like you give the means you give the guardrail prompt as a text to them. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, right? You give it as a copy paste document. That before attempting this assignment, you have to run
Oh,
these five
so
lines
this.
of
Okay.
run
Mm-hmm.
these 5 lines and then select the complete chunk when you submit without missing.
Okay, perfect. That makes good sense. Thank you so much, Professor.
Nigam sir, you said
Yeah.
that you will create a guardrail, right? Now, the when you're giving these multiple question or multiple answers, it has to be in your system, or will it be also visible to the others?
MCQ. My MCQ means that's a different thing. That is like a Google form. But what you are asking is again, I'm repeating the same thing as what the previous response was. You MCQ, if you do not want the student to get the answer, you just write. Just take the answer from the student, but don't give the output. Don't tell the
Okay,
correct answer. So
okay,
like well, miss outside generative AI also, miss like the assignment that I will give to you. There are 30 questions to it. I will not give it today. I will start giving it tomorrow. Then I will have 5 to 6 days deadline. What is going to happen in that assignment is that there are multiple sample prompts are given in the first assignment. That is, if a time permits, I will have a group activity also. Like I will break you into groups, and then you all are free to discuss. What is going to happen is suppose you get this kind of prompt. This prompt will be written, and then you have to identify which kind of pattern it is referring to. So that will be your first onboarding. Right now, because I'm explaining everything, it looks simple, but seeing a prompt and then out of those 28, which one it is, that is the first guided exercise that is already ready, but I'm just at least getting, let us say, 10 to 15 prompts done. So as you go, you will be able to solve, and once you submit it, answers will not come because I've not told Google form what the correct answer is. Similarly, but GPT can always figure out. Now, you are a professor. Now the ethical guardrail is that don't do this. That take a screenshot and ask GPT what prompt pattern is that. That is the moral ethical guardrail. I am telling you right now. Don't do this. What some students will do, means other courses, because in your document that I have shared that this is not a ev- evaluation based. Certificates will be distributed to all. I'm not keeping track of any attendance. It is we are not doing that. BITS doesn't have any attendance policy, and non certificates will be given to all. But please don't do that. It will hamper your learning. What people will do is uh, like
Sir,
this.
the way you have said that you're creating a guardrail, don't you think that the prompt engineering can also help us to get the answer from giving this statement and say what is the right answer?
What I'm that is what, sir, I'm demonstrating to you. That is what I'm trying demonstrating to you. I'm telling you, that is what I'm asking you not to do. That don't do this. Sometimes the answer also can come wrong because there are not only 28 patterns. There are thousands of patterns. These 28 are specific to you. Maybe this prompt may it show you as template. It may give you some other word also. It has happened with someone in some guide, some other workshop I have done. So what I say, this is a type of pattern. Which pattern is it? Tell me which pattern is it. Okay. So this is giving you not the exact word. It is trying to give you structured prompt. Now it has a template. It is missing you. Let me tell you. Give it. Uh, that was a specific prompt pattern. Give me the exact term. So it is processing it. In the previous, people used to take a screenshot, and this is how MCQs are getting solved these days. The online quizzes that you do, uh, template prompt, not as come. You see, because it's a pro model, it is giving you much of a text, but it has given you the answer. So this way, you will kill your learning. And I have told there's no marks for securing full marks or securing 0 marks.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
But again, ethical guardrail, if I say that from now on, students will ask you and interact with you, give hints what kind of pattern it can be. So again, this will be slightly heavy for you. Let me say it with heavy or not. What can I say? That these are the 28 patterns that I have taught my students. They will be putting specific patterns, examples to you. Under no circumstances you tell what is the correct name, but you should always hint them that what the correct answer can be. And then you can make more rules. Means this is getting complicated. Means I do not want to tell, but then you can say, you can assist them, you can ask them the first response. If they do not find it, give them some more hints. This is adaptive learning. This is like, let us wait for the third and fifth, fourth and fifth, sixth day. Else many people will get confused that this is suddenly going to very high end. Adaptive learning, adaptive feedbacks. Because all the patterns are not done yet. After all the patterns are done, then only you will understand the beautiful application. Any other question, or can I move ahead of this overall column? Yeah, nothing. So, though I know only 5 minutes are left, but every minute is important. So, just get a hold of the next thing. I know Miss people may be thinking why I'm going. Just get an overview, because I may not start it. Let me go back to the top slide. Where this chart was there. I will not start it because I also know it's 9:10. I promised only 1 hour. So what is going to happen is I'm just going to give you an idea for tomorrow. What is going to happen in this interaction pattern column? Just in one word, I am going to explain it, and then I will stop. And then if you have more questions, you can ask. And from tomorrow, I will make slide a step on my speed, but because fine tuning has to come between us, so this today I got only very slow for 2 hours, just one column. But tomorrow I will try to cover at least two to three columns, 2 columns at least. So flipped interaction is doing, as tomorrow we will see, it is doing the opposite thing. Flipped interaction is that in which you tell GPT that I want to achieve this task, but I do not have any much other information. When we will discuss this tomorrow, I will tell you, I want to do this, but you can ask me questions that will help you to get me the answer. I will say things like, I want to make a marketing, HR, or finance and term examination. Stop. You can ask me questions that will help you to give a better response. I didn't tell anything else. I will just tell the goal that I want to make a marketing comprehensive examinations, full stop. I didn't tell the total number of marks, number of expected questions. These things you should, one may think that you are not told. These things are important. That how many questions should be subjective, should be objective. These are the common questions anybody will expect that to tell GPT that I want to, but I didn't tell. I will say just my task is this and stop. Before executing the task, if you need, you can ask me questions that will help you to give me the answer. I didn't tell much. Question refinement is what I just displayed to you. When I said that in one go, give me a prompt that can explain. That was like improving the prompt. Question refinement is like improving the prompt. Even before executing the things, I can write one line, but I think that this prompt is not adequate enough. I can ask GPT. Tomorrow we will see that we will say that help me improve this prompt, and then it will give me an improvised version of this prompt. That we will see tomorrow. Role play is like two personas interacting. Either you can say that GPT, this is more of those HR professionals and those roles in this training. Tomorrow I will discuss how you can train the students for interview preparation and all. So role play is that you ask GPT to take one role, that act as an HR manager or act as a interviewer who is very tough, who is very sweet, or who is very confusing. They asked as many roles, and I or means you, the student will behave as the interviewee, an interviewer, interview interaction. Have the interaction, maybe let us say when we will see this, I will say that interact for 10 minutes or 10 statements, and then give the overall feedback how I performed. I performed means how the student has performed. These kind of things will be very helpful in role play in the context to train the students this for the interview or some other projects that they're going to do. So you can always assume that that the role play is there. You take this role, I take this role, and we have. Or you can also generate script by letting it to make some hypothetical assumptions, not a real-time interaction, but make a script in which a conflict negotiation is happening. That you can send it to class as a pre-read. Please read this script, how the conflict was resolved or not resolved. Those kind of discussions we will have. Reflection is reflect on the outputs are coming. What do you think about this output? Asking it to own its output, like definitions are getting generated or text is getting generated. Reflect how good is this output in the context of my students. Tell. So it will generate that kind of thing. And lastly, is team collaboration. It is like you are giving group assignments to students. The problem with students, many a times, not the most of the times, many of the times comes that ma'am or sir, this student has not performed, please deduct marks, or this student has not performed, deduct marks, and this is a group for the assignment, I did all the work. Team collaboration is like that will allow you to develop a proper framework while giving group projects. That you tell GPT that I wanted to give group projects, and in my group project, somebody will do data collection, somebody will do data analysis, somebody will do report writing. Give me a framework in which the responsibilities are distributed so that accountability can be established. So that will come under team collaborations, that kind of work. So now it's 9:09. Now I will stop officially. The time is officially up. So this is the overview that what we are going to see tomorrow, the first hour. And again, at least read these two complete blocks. Pre-read means interaction you would have read today, but cover the analytical patterns description as a pre-read. So that will save us a lot of time. Analytical patterns. Interaction, revise interaction, read analytical patterns. So now I am stop presenting. Now Mics are already on, so any interaction that you want to have, this is like the those who do not want to have, means I'm not going to teach anything new now. They are free to leave. But anybody has any doubts, any want to discuss anything, please you can unmute yourself and speak. Your discussion time, 15 minutes of discussion.
Sir, I want to share with you a recent experience which I have been a mock interview with the students. They have copied the resume from the chat GPT mostly, okay, and the context which they have written is all the general context is a representative of the resume. And when they were being asked about their interests, their hobby, their achievements, it was in a very general context. What we found it out that there were more other specific fields which they are excellent in their domain or aspect of it. So we found that the important part which was realistic was not mentioned in the resume, but rather a general context from the context to be copied they had wasn't put. And that too many things was like finance, marketing, and also like personal finance, everything was mentioned over there. So they were not very clear what exactly they are into context. So can you be like how can we be like specify to that that you should always have this specificity in this context, and you should generalize what you are, and you should mention in the simplicity in the descriptive form. So how can we make it that even though you look for the chat GPT, I'm not against it, but the thing is how can you make a change in it? That is my question.
Make them learn context, pattern, template patterns, and all. Because they also don't know. They do this broken analysis. Every student does that. They also don't know all the prompt patterns, how to make uh, organization specific CVs, adaptive CVs. They don't know. They do what they do is the best they can do at this point in time, and that's why everything looks simple. Everything looks generic. But once they learn these prompt patterns in their, some things are similar to them. What we have dealing, some things are unique to them in their perspective. Like they have on some this resume pattern, this and that. So that is what the problem doesn't lie with GPT, and your problem is genuine enough, but the solution lies for them to learn prompt engineering. There's the only solution
I
because
hope you will. I
they
hope you
don't
will.
know how to communicate with effectively to get the effective output. And as a student's attention time is very small, whatever the first thing they get, they just want to dump it because general institute plays by midnight. You submit your CV for this organization, so they do what the first thing comes, and then they have to do other 10 other things in life.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Professor Achint, I had a question for the
Yes.
template pattern that you mentioned. If we upload a document, it'll also generate the same kind of output. We want some template from a document.
So what you need to do is you upload the document, ask GPT to understand the structure of this document, and
Okay.
before doing something else, ask GPT to show what you have learned about the structure.
Okay. Okay.
You attach the PDF, suppose, or a document what you have. Tell GPT to understand the structure of this document,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then you tell show the structure, and then you see is the structure in line or not. Sometimes the documents that there's some image and there's some problem with the formatting, so the structure is not that clear. If it's specifically when it's a very poor scanned copy,
Right.
specifically when.
Okay.
So when you say that this is I want you to understand the structure of this document. It's
Got
just like a few short. Technically, it's just like a few shot you are giving. It's not a template pattern. Technically, what you are trying to do is few shot example. You are giving a sample PDF for it to learn the structure. So that is a few shot,
Okay. Okay.
and
Thank you.
that few shot is getting mixed with template because you want to structure to a short template. Two patterns are getting mixed over.
Got it. Thank you.
Sir, in the role play, when the students are building up the character, so like when they are mentioning the character, so different context of the character needs to be descriptive in form that who is playing what kind of role and how the
So,
dialogue
ma'am,
needs to be written.
role play tomorrow we will discuss a lot. We will have some lots of exercises. Today I just gave you an overview. Interaction patterns tomorrow. Full first hour is interaction only.
Okay.
Because people have left, 60 people have left, so I cannot discuss what's coming tomorrow. It's only about questions that were around yesterday's and today. As we build the yesterday and today starting.
Because I have given an activity for tomorrow for the role play and the script writing, so that's
We
why.
missed it. No, no.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but answer is yes, descriptive. For you to help, yeah, they have to explain exactly what they want to do. And some hints lies in the sample document. So the document is always there. You can always see. Survey response output. What do you mean by this? You want to do a survey using ChatGPT? Means you can feed the data to analyze it. That you can do. It's like your data that came to me. Um, that you can do. Means I can show you. Means I should show you. Means just you have to give me a second first. Okay, the my screen is actually not visible on here. Give me a second. Is you can't do that. Means I'm not sure. Means you getting GPT to fill the answers, getting Google form filled. I'm not sure that. But what I'm going to do is, if Ulfat is still also hanging around, she was asking, right? Now I can share the screen. Screen is up. Yes, the screen is up. I need to close this. I need to do GPT. So just a simple demonstration. What is going to happen is, uh, let me type it. So without telling which column is what, means I have just copy pasted the two fields I was asking which area you are, which role you are. If you remember in the Google form, everybody has filled most of them after first 5 7. Most of you have filled which area of interest you have and which you have. So this kind of work analysis can be done from that survey which was done. As we realized that registration form was a survey only. So what I have done, I am saying I am giving the data of participants who are in my FDP. Give me an overview in 5 bullet points. Okay, so I'm saying okay, run. Now you see, so this is how that introduction slide was generated with Paragi, and I was trying to show you. The FDP has strong representation from core business discipline, marketing, finance, because 125 people data. Why should I? Generative AI bring it strong. This is how I started to. I understood that I need to adapt from finance, HR, and all the three examples I put there because it says strong. This helped me. Then because there was only one field, so significant professors and so on and so forth. While there are some minors also, then I have to take care of minors also. But now they should not be left behind. But it was not worth of my time to go for everyone. So that idea of video came that please do this so that you get your respective. So that was the Gen AI use in. doing some data analysis that maybe Ulfat was also asking. I'm not sure if she's there. I think she has left.
Sir, do you have any specific reason using Gemini GPT?
No reason that Gemini that specifically came. Usually I use Claude. No reason. Tomorrow you tell me something, use something else, I will use something else. Hardly matters to me.
So, just a curious, out of curiosity, I want to ask one question
Yes.
because everyone else is an academician and they have knowledge of evaluating papers, and students are using Gen AI in assignments or in anything, any class homework or anything like that. So, how is evaluation going to happen if everybody's answers are at par with other? Because everything is written by ChatGPT. It means 15 students are there, 15 are writing through ChatGPTs. So every answer is similar and at standard English, and everything is well structured. So how I will differentiate between the quality, whom to give A, whom to give B, because everything is so similar and there is no difference, and there's no miss quality wise any up and down means.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. The problem is also short answer is stop giving 300 submit 300 words write up. Short answer. Stop giving assignments like 300 words write up. Submit it to me after the end of the day. Those days are gone. Stop. Period. Stop. Forget that those days exist anymore. And if you think that getting them in control environment to do that, that has a limited mis- scope left. What you didn't notice was I have to pull my LinkedIn post. Yeah, I will to show you which is part of forthcoming sessions this year. Share. I hope I clicked the right. So your answer straight away lies here, Anupma, and for everybody else. This is the thing that we are going to do.
Okay, I will check this out.
Just read it, read it. Don't get just read it. It's not a much of a text. Just read it, try to understand it. And those who are left also are couple of people are still here, 20 people are here. So you cannot give submit 300 words. Those days are gone and you have to get to so आपका day तो शुरू ही नहीं हुआ. वैसे आपके days तो वाले शुरू ही नहीं हुए. So those days are gone. You have to make assignments. You have where AI is part of the game, but it cannot solve the complete game.
So suppose it
Though,
is a Harvard case study. They are discussing a Harvard case study, and there is a group assignment. So in Accelerate, we used to do group assignment of B schools, good case studies. So now, and that time we didn't have GPT. We used to think a lot, and we used to spend 1 week discussing how to solve this. We used to go deep inside the case. But now I'm seeing that students use GPT. They just type the case, they type the question, and they get the answer, and every answer is same. So that is a problem in big cases, like famous cases like Harvard or Wiley's cases are available, I think, I don't know, but they get the answers, and they solve cases using GPT.
for that, please attend these two sessions, case writing session 1, session 2. We will write our own cases for which
Oh,
the answers are not there. Please
okay.
attend those sessions. And then you have to be smart enough to what kind of questions you are asking. Are you asking to summarize the case or you are asking some new tweaks? You are asking them to bring some new aspect to it, or you are just asking the questions. Are you have adapted yourself to become a Gen AI uh, as a faculty who can use GenAI in there? Are you scared of it or are you enjoying it? Is your question just like what is the write an overview of the case? What was protagonist X was
No,
doing?
sir.
What should do?
As a
And
question like how Geo has used the digital strategy, apply it to any other company, and if reimagine it or re-strategize, strategize Geo's digital strategy, questions like that. So they are using innovative ideas using GPT.
Yeah. So let them brainstorm the ideas. No, no issues. After that, brainstorming is done. Bring them answers. You don't tell follow-up questions. Now ask them to critique those ideas in class. Critique GPT. You build a framework. Let them build. Let them build those. Let them get those innovative ideas.
But these
When
are
they
not
come,
their ideas, na? These are GPT's ideas.
so they have learned to forget those days. They are not your idea. Their GPT is inside you, inside your mobile, is inside your mind. So you have to allow them to use GPT to brainstorm the ideas. Then, if you want to have the control environment situations, get the custom GPTs built, get them in class. That this is your institute's GPT. You are used to allowed to use that. This is a access. Yeah, like you do not have any outside access. Get this outside access out, and then like your guardrail is there. No, do not solve the case, but assist them in brainstorming the session. Build those custom models, and that is not very hard to do. Couple of lines of prompt. This is not a code. It's just like plain English. But as an instructor, are we patient enough to review our prompts over and over again? Because a minute leak, just plain English we are writing, a minute loophole can blow up the whole purpose. We are also very careless. How many times do you think you read your GPT output or anybody else who is there, the GPT output from first word to end? Deep research, some of you would have used. The research specialist will show you deep research, 10,000 words getting generated. How many of you have the patience right now thinking that GPT would have done? Everybody assumes that GPT has done the right thing. You are very unlikely to read and scrutinize every 10,000 words one line by line. So the thing is that you have to be patient enough with what GPT output is coming out. The This is not about student empowerment, it's about faculty empowerment also. Can you give creative assignments, or can you make some environments in which GPT can be controlled but still permissible? Can you write a prompt in which they use some other GPT? That's fine, numerical analysis. But you say that you give me running my prompt output should come in this. So in your prompt, you write that under no circumstances any numerical analysis should be discussed. Fine, they go to some other GPT, get the numerical analysis. In your question, you give numerical analysis. But if in after running your prompt, if it was written, then how did numerical analysis was done? In that, it should not have come in that output. Was your prompt poor? If your prompt was not poor, it should not come. That would have come that some cheating has been done. It means your prompt has been tempered. If you make a clear-cut statement, under no circumstances you discuss any numerical concept or numerical analysis. I want the students to solve the answer. They may see, that's fine, but they will come to class with some viewpoints, this and that. You can't stop that. You have to imbibe that, but also at the same time uh, push them. If you have some any other questions, it's almost 9:30, 9:29. Do you have any other questions? If there are no more questions, I'm stopping the recording now.